It is no secret to longtime fans of the channel that trading card games have been a big influence in my life, both on and off the channel. In this series, both DemonBattler and myself will be opening 24 packs, or one box, of each core Yu-Gi-Oh! Booster set in chronological order. After each opening, we will build decks from all of the cards we have opened thus far, then duel each other in a best-of-3 match with 3 prizes up for grabs to improve our decks. The winner will receive 2 of those prizes, and the loser will get 1. The possibilities for prizes are almost limitless, including single cards, sealed product, structure decks, and much more. Every card in the entire game's history will be obtainable in some form. However, neither of us will be able to rest on past laurels easily. The ever-changing official Forbidden and Limited list, our own choices of cards to be banished to the Shadow Realm, and even changes to the very rules of the game will keep our decks and duels fresh. This is yet another Yu-Gi-Oh! Progression series. The Lost Millennium was released June 1st, 2005. This set introduced the Elemental Hero archetype, a fan-favorite archetype that is based around fusion summoning. This set also introduced the Ancient Gear archetype. They're a series of machine monsters that are all about stopping interaction during the battle phase. This is probably the weakest set that we have opened completely so far. Even worse than Soul of the Duelist. It does have a couple of cards in it, but I will go down the list for you. Avian, Burstinatrix, Clayman, and Sparkman are the building blocks of the Elemental Hero deck. They have very powerful fusion monsters, but most of them are at high rarity. Ancient Gear Soldier is our first Ancient Gear monster. It is a 1300 body that prevents your opponent from activating spell traps until the end of the damage step when it attacks. There are also some Pac-Man pieces in here, which may actually wind up seeing play because of all the Pac-Man hate that has been banned recently. Battery Man AA is our first Battery Man monster. That may wind up seeing play once we have enough pieces later on to actually make the Battery Man deck work. Death's Wombat is a card that I am absolutely terrified of. It's going to make the burn deck absolutely unplayable going forward because you have to be able to out this card if you're playing a burn deck. What Death's Wombat does is it's a 1600 3-star, so it can attack under your floodgates if you're trying to play any sort of stall deck, and it stops any damage from card effects as long as you control it. This is very powerful and very frustrating as a control player. We do have Battery Charger, which is something we're going to look for 3 of when we play the Battery Man deck. There are a couple of rituals that I will go over as well. And then at the rare slot, we do have some pretty good cards as well. We have Ancient Gear Beast, which is a 2K 1 tribute. Not going to be playable right away, but once we get access to Gear Town much later on, this will become a 2K normal summon that negates monster effects and stops interaction during the battle phase. A DD Survivor is another powerful card, not now, but later. Once we get Macrocosmos, it becomes very difficult to answer. It is an 1800 body as well. Elemental Mistress Doriado is our first ritual. It's a 3-star ritual that is treated as every attribute. This is a combo with Furin Kazan from the earlier sets, but it is a bit too gimmicky for my tastes. Hero Signal is very important to the Elemental Hero deck. This lets you special summon Elemental Heroes from deck whenever one is destroyed by battle. This will see some reprints, so we will be able to get it later, but it is very important to have 2 to 3 of those if you want to play Elemental Hero. Now, at the Super Rare slot, we do have a few cards as well. We have Wing Karibo, which prevents all damage when it's sent to the graveyard. We have Mega Rock Dragon, which has an OTK based around it, but it is a super rare, so it's very unlikely we'll actually be able to play it, but there is a rock deck out there. Brain Control is the only very good generic card in the set. We're going to hope for multiples of this, This lets you pay 800 life points to grab a face-up monster your opponent controls until the end phase. This will be very good for Monarch decks. It will be very good for making synchro plays once we have that available to us, but Brain Control is the biggest chase card of the set. The 4 ultra rares, one of them is a ritual that is actually pretty strong. The other 2 are elemental hero fusions, both of which are strong as well, especially Flame Wingman. But the big ultra rare that I want is Ancient Gear Golem. Ancient Gear Golem is a 2 tribute, 3k on both sides, that pierces and it stops battle interaction. This is a fantastic finisher. We already have a machine, a shell that we can toss this into. I've mostly just been waiting for a big finisher to abuse with the limiter removal that we have. A Flame Wingman is worth talking about as well. Both Flame Wingman and Thunder Giant, these are the first 2 elemental hero fusions. A Flame Wingman when it destroys any monster in battle, it does damage to your opponent equal to the destroyed monster's attack. Now, all of the elemental hero fusions can't be cheated out. They have to be fusion summoned, and you can't special summon them in other ways, such as with Metamorphosis. Thunder Giant is a 2400 that you can discard a card to blow up a face-up monster with less than the Thunder Giant's attack. It's got a big body. This will see play in the elemental hero decks if one of us builds it. And then the final one is the ritual monster Reshef the Dark Being. It is an 8-star ritual monster that can turn any card in your hand, a spell card specifically, into a Change of Heart. And it's a 2500 body. This could be cool if we get a copy of it. I might play this in some kind of ritual deck, because now that we have some reprint cards, we've been able to fill out play sets of Senju and Sonic Bird to be able to make ritual decks consistent. But this is not the only set that came out during this time period. We also have Dark Revelation 1, which was released just after Flaming Eternity on March 19th of 2005. This reprints cards from Pharaonic Guardian through Dark Crisis, and some of them are at a lot lower rarity than they were before. We have Rare Gravekeeper's Chief, which could be good for filling out the Gravekeeper deck. This is another chance at Big Bang Shot. The big reprint at low rarity that we would be looking for is Tribe Infecting Virus. I believe it is worth opening this set to try to get Tribe Infecting Virus. There are also a lot of commons that we are going to be looking for out of this set as well. So I'll just go down and I'll run over some of the noteworthy ones. We do have some downshifts as well for Amazoness Swordswoman, Reflect Bounder. Necro Valley, unfortunately, remains at super rare, but it is another chance to get it, another chance to get DD Warrior Lady. Shinado. Another Shinado would be cool, because then I could more consistently incorporate that into a ritual package as well. And it would be another chance at Breaker, Lava Golem, Judgment of Anubis for another powerful negate. Most of the ultras aren't really what we're looking for, though. It is another chance at Dark Paladin, and I haven't forgotten, we do have Dark Magician and Buster Blader, so we may be able to make something like that work, and we have been picking up some Dark Magician promo cards recently as well. But the big things we're going to be looking for, other than in the rare slot, are in the common slot. Now, there's another chance to get Raigeki Break, another chance to get Dark Room of Nightmare. Dark Room of Nightmare at common is something that I might be able to revitalize the bird deck with, despite losing things like Secret Barrel. The Secret Barrel ban hurt me a ton. So the first few cards in this list are reprints from Pharaonic Guardian. We do have some reprints from a Magician's Force down below as well. Unfortunately, Call of the Mummy does not seem to be in this set. So I may have to consider giving up Dark Revelation 1 to try to spin for some common wildcards, because Call of the Mummy is going to be hard to get a hold of later. A third Giant Orc wouldn't be a bad idea. Even though we don't have final attack orders anymore, I am looking towards the Skill Drain deck. That could be something going forward. Kaiser Coliseum is a fantastic floodgate. Wave Motion Cannon is the big common that I'm going to be looking for. I have 0 Wave Motion Cannon, and if I do not get Wave Motion Cannon, I may have to consider spending a ban on Wave Motion Cannon. Rivalry is another card that we only got one of. as well. And we have some more monsters as well. Amazonas Tiger would be nice to pick up, because I would like to play Amazonas at some point, but I only have one, and that's a card you really want 2 to 3 copies of to be able to play that deck. We would have another chance at My Body as a Shield. There's also some Dark Crisis cards that we could get access to as well. Not too many of the monsters from Dark Crisis I'm interested in. Final Attack Orders is banned. We have a lot of banned commons, so there are going to be a number of rerolls that we may have to do to be able to get the cards that would replace the ones that got banned. Falling Down, it's another chance to get that. So with the Terror King Archfiend in my pool, Archfiends could be on the table. Tsukiyomi would be nice to have another copy of. I think this is worth opening. There are enough commons and rares that I'm looking for that I'm absolutely okay with rolling the dice on this set. And with the release of The Lost Millennium comes a new Forbidden and Limited list, and one that is beloved by many players of the game. We are now officially in GOAT format. And this brought quite a few changes that will impact us. We do have Makiura the Destructor, which is a card that was pre-banned because of how powerful the effect was. Notice that this is pre-errata, so that lets you activate as many trap cards out of your hand as you would like. There were enough drawing trap cards that it was easy enough to draw into a win condition, perhaps even Exodia the Forbidden one. We have DD Warrior Lady going to 1, Sacred Phoenix of Nephthys going to 1, so Demon will only be able to use one of his 2 Phoenixes. We have Lightning Vortex to 1, Deck Devastation Virus to 1, Abyss Soldier to 2, Dark Scorpion Chick the Yellow to 2. This is the only time this card has ever touched the list, and it immediately goes off the list on the next update. Night Assailant to 2, Vampire Lord to 2, Emergency Provisions to 2, Level Limit Area B to 2, Upstart Goblin to 2, Good Goblin Housekeeping to 2, Gravity Bind to 2, and Morphing Jar number 2 to 3. Alright, 24 packs of The Lost Millennium, our first of several GX sets that I ain't beating around the bush. This set is really bad. There are 2 cards that I've got my eye on, and that's it. One of them is Brain Control, obviously, because that's the only immediately playable card in the set. And then the other one is the cover card, which is actually playable. It's Ancient Gear Golem. You need to build your deck around it, but Ancient Gear Golem is very, very playable. We would prefer to have multiples of it, but it's pretty unlikely to actually get multiples of the card. It is an ultra rare, and the probability, just by simple math, of getting 2 Ancient Gear Golems will happen about every 1 in 16 boxes. But let's not keep you waiting any longer. Let's go ahead and crack our first pack. And nothing special. And there's an Elemental Mistress Doriado. There is a combo with this. I don't think it's particularly playable, but if we do want to have a little bit of fun, we could potentially play this with some of the cards that care about having cards of multiple attributes. We are looking for the base elemental heroes as well, and we got our first Clayman. There's our first copy of Burstinatrix. Battery Man AA is something that we're going to be looking for the future, because there is a Battery Man deck that will be out eventually around late 5D's era, and we may be able to take advantage of that, but that's not for a long time. There's an Avion and a Sparkman, so now we at least have one of each. We will be looking for playsets, and even if we don't get them, there is a Duelist pack coming out pretty soon that will let us get the ones that we don't have. But it's Lost Millennium. This is a very small set. We should get playsets of almost every common. Burstinatrix, Clayman, and an Ancient Gear Soldier, which it is something that we will want to see, if anything, just for the names, because there is an Ancient Gear archetype out there. There's another AA, and there's our first Battery Charger as well. Battery Charger is something that we will want 3 of to play the Battery Man deck eventually. It is a Monster Reborn for the archetype. It's not once per turn, and it only costs 500 life points to activate. We will need to have 3 of it to play the archetype. And there is Elemental Hero Flame Wingman. That is one of the payoffs for playing Elemental Hero. We won't be able to play this now, but once we get some more hero support in the next couple sets, if we can pick up some polymerizations from Jade and Yuki, we may be able to make a hero deck work. Of note, that is another card I glossed over the first time we opened it. That's Death's Wombat. And that is going to be a card that its very presence is going to make me not want to play Burn, because it is a hard counter to Burn. and it's going to make me need to play removal to be able to out it. So what Death's Wombat does is it negates all effect damage that's dealt to you while it's on the field. And it's a 1600 3-star body, which conveniently gets underneath all of our attack floodgates. And of note that Flame Wingman is also our first holo, which is a little concerning. Not that many of the holos are good, but all the cards we are looking for out of the set are holos. That finishes our playset of Sparkman, but I'm starting to get a little bit concerned. No Brain Control, no Ancient Gear Golem yet, and we're over halfway through this box. And there is an ultimate rare. Unfortunately, it is legendary Black Belt. That is completely unplayable. And we did get our third Battery Man AA, so those are done. Don't think any of these other cards are very good. But this is Lost Millennium. This is why I wasn't too excited to open it. And that fills out all of the common elemental heroes with our third copy of Burstinatrix. I think that's our 5th Millennium Scorpion. A good card in a set limited for a sealed showdown type setting, but not in this setting, unfortunately. That finishes up our playset of Death's Wombat, but still none of the cards that we're really looking for. And there's a super rare. It is Master Monk, which is a house if you can get it out, but it's a few too many hoops to jump through for my taste. And there is an ultimate rare, Reshef the Dark Being. So this card is a very interesting ritual monster. It's a level 8, 2500 ritual that can turn any spell into your hand into a change of heart once per turn. This is quite a powerful ritual monster, and we did get the third copy of Final Ritual of the Ancients as well. Not gonna lie, I'm kind of tempted to build some kind of ritual deck with the 2 big level 8 rituals I have, and try to make something a little meme-tastic work if we don't get the cards that we're looking for out of here. Haven't seen a single Ancient Gear Beast either, so Ancient Gear is probably off the table. Alright, so only a few packs left. It's Lost Millennium. What can I expect? We haven't seen Brain Control yet. That's the big thing I'm concerned about, because that card is incredibly strong going forward. So we have our third to last pack. Nothing special in here. And our second to last pack. Also a swing and a miss. And for our very last pack... Nope, no Brain Control, no Ancient Gear Golem. About what I expected. See you in deck building. So this is the deck that we'll be taking to today's duel. Surprise, surprise, it's not playing a single card from the Lost Millennium. This is the same list that I ran for the Flaming Eternity duel, with the exception that I have swapped out one of the compulses for a My Body as a Shield. So the reason why I'm choosing to run this list back is I was looking at the burn list to see if it could function without Secret Barrel. I briefly considered playing Tremendous Fire instead of Secret Barrel just as another burn spell, but one of the issues that I ran into is that Secret Barrel is just too good at what it does. So I don't think Demon is going to be expecting me to run this back again, but just in case, I have made one minor change, which I will go over through the card by card. 3 Benkai, this is the namesake of the deck. We want to suit this up with as many equips as possible and just go to town. 1 Blade Knight, 2 Chaos Sorcerer, 1 Free Wave Wanderer, 2 Iron Blacksmith Kotetsu to search up for equipments, 2 copies of Magician of Faith to recur them, 2 copies of Mahavilo as our alt-win condition, as well as to get some lights in the graveyard for Chaos Sorcerer, to give us some amount of long game. Triple Mataza the Zapper, 1 Ninja Grandmaster Sasuke, 1 Sangan, and 1 Witch of the Black Forest. For the spells, 1 Big Bang Shot, 1 Black Pendant, 1 Fairy Meteor Crush, 1 Harpy's Feather Duster, 1 Lightning Blade, 1 Mage Power, triple Malevolent Nuzzler, double My Body as a Shield. So the only change that I made is I swapped the second My Body as a Shield with a Compulse from the side deck to be able to more proactively protect our monsters in the event that we run into something like Sakuretsu Armor, because if the Sacks aren't in Demon's main deck to begin with, they'll be here now. 1 Pot of Greed, 1 Reinforcement of the Army to search out Benkai, and then 1 Stim Pack, rounding out the spells. For the traps, we have Double Blast with Chain, Double Compulse, Dust Tornado, Ring of Destruction, 7 Tools of the Bandit, and Solemn Judgment. For the side deck, deck, we have double Mystic Swordsman level 2, 1 Confiscation, 1 Nobleman of Extermination, 2 Prohibition, 1 Remove Trap, triple the Allied Forces, which I'm probably going to bring in, depending on what kind of removal package that we see, the third Compulse, Spirit Force, and triple Sekretsu Armor, and the extra deck does not matter. Let's see if we can steal another win from Demon with Armed Samurai Benkai. Ladies and gentlemen, it is time to get your game on! So, I have one question for you. Demon, are you ready to get your game on? I'm sure you are with the sleeves.
Oh yeah, this is definitely going to be something to try out, and the fact that we're finally into GX era is going to be so much fun. That being said, this is going to be a slog of episodes.
Oh, it will. Like, these sets are just complete dog shit. The next one's good, but there are a ton of packs that are just complete garbage.
Yeah, they're like Cyber Revolution, it's pretty good. The rest of them, it's like one good card and that's it.
Just about. Like, there was 1, maybe 2 good cards in this set. I guess I'll be going second this time. Good luck, Duelist.
Good luck. Alright. I'm gonna draw. Standby main. I think I'm just gonna start by setting a monster and passing.
Draw for turn, standby, main. My hand is not very good either. I'm gonna set 3 and pass.
Ooh, okay. Draw. God damn it, that is not what I wanted to see. You
gonna flip that Cyber Jar, buddy?
Oh, I wish it was a Cyber Jar. I think I'm just gonna go ahead and set another monster.
Interesting.
It seemed to work fine for me earlier.
Draw for turn, standby, main. Go!
Okay. Oh, you've got to be kidding me. Okay, go.
Great gameplay. Draw for turn, standby, main. Go! What exciting gameplay we have today!
Oh, for Christ's sake, this is not what I want to see. Screw it, I'm gonna fire off my heavy now.
I'm gonna compulse this set.
Alright.
I'm gonna get my Tornado and my Judgment.
Ooh, okay. Well, I guess I'll just set a monster. Could be anything.
Draw for turn, standby, main. Well, if you have it, you have it. Let's go!
Ah, shit.
Boop. 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 So that's a 2400 quad attack piercer.
Looks like it.
If you have Old Vindictive, you have Old Vindictive. I'm playing a combo deck. 24.
Yeah, unfortunately that's my witch, so I'm gonna take 1200 there. Let's see, what can I retrieve? Truthfully, I don't have a whole lot of options here. I think I'm gonna go ahead and take my Magician of Faith.
Alright. Knock down the next one.
That's gonna be my Sangin.
So
I take 18.
And then you'll go to 200 again.
God.
So, yep, after you resolve that, I will attack directly twice.
Alright, I will add my Clayman.
On Heroes, somebody has a Thunder Giant in their extra deck. Alright, blow me out.
Alright, draw. Standby main. Ah, crap. Well, that's not what I wanted to see.
I mean, you have 9 cards in your hand. You have to have removal somewhere. I mean, that'll...
Well, I can at least activate this.
That'll stop me for a while.
Gonna set a card, and I will pass.
Draw for turn, standby, main. Set one, and pass.
Come on, Dueling Book.
I'll just make things a little bit easier. During your draw phase, I'm going to activate Ring of Destruction.
Oh, okay. Well, once that pops up, I'll go there.
That's more in case Dueling Book crashes. There it is.
Yep.
I think that's how the last episode ended Game 1, too. Alright, Game 2. Up a game again, but I'm sure this is where the side deck cards come into play.
Oh, yeah. That went about... Honestly, that probably went about as well as I was expecting, but it still ended up not at all what I was hoping for.
But, Yeah, I get the feeling that, unlike in the previous match, there's probably some sideboard hate for this deck now, but we'll see.
Yeah. Alright, so draw, standby main. Ooh, well, I actually get to start with a new card. So, out of my Dark Beginning 1 packs, I actually pulled this.
Well, it's a common. I'm not surprised.
So let's see what you got.
So now we both have Confiscation at least. So I hear this card is pretty good against combo decks. What do you want?
Oh, yeah.
This hand's pretty good, ain't it?
Nuzzler, Mataza, Ring, Ben K, Nightblade. Okay.
I didn't think so. I didn't think so. I don't think there's a situation where the Nuzzler is the correct play.
I think I'm going to take the Ben K.
Yeah, you have to take the Ben K.
Because that is just holy shit.
I mean, Ben K was basically the Spanish Inquisition of its time.
Basically. Then we're going to set a monster. And we're going to set 2 cards.
Draw for turn. Standby. Main. I'm gonna just set 2 and pass.
Right? Well, I'm pretty sure one of those is Ring.
Could be anything. Got the heavy?
I don't have the heavy. I do have a Dark Blade, though.
Sure.
And let's go ahead and hit for 18. Main 2. I think I'm gonna just pass.
Draw for turn, standby, main. I'll run him out there.
Right?
Lightning Blade?
In response, I'm going to activate DNA Surgery. And I'm gonna call everyone is a machine monster.
Oh, that's cute.
Now, the question is, does Lightning Blade stay attached and do nothing, or does it actually go to the graveyard?
If you change Mataza's type, then the Lightning Blade just falls off, because it can't be equipped.
Okay.
It is going to make me use my Nuzzler, though.
Yeah, I figured that one.
That's a pretty sick tech. I like that. Battle phase. 2K?
Alright, well, I'm going to activate my Spirit Barrier, so I'll lose my Dark Blade, but I won't take any damage.
That's pretty good. I'll attack your set, also.
And that is my Clayman.
They bonk. Go.
Alright, draw. Standby, main. Well, I got the swords.
You do have the swords.
And I'm going to set another card and pass.
Draw for turn. Standby, main. Set a monster. Pass.
Alright.
1 turn on swords.
I'm going to... Actually, this is kind of cute. I can run out my Sandkin and actually crash into your Mataza since I won't take damage.
That is a way to proc Sandkin. You got it.
Let's see who I retrieve.
That Spirit Barrier is doing a lot of work.
I think I'm going to add my Exile Force to hand.
Exiled Force, that's so bad.
Main 2. I will set a card and pass.
Draw for turn. Standby. Main. Go. I can't do anything under Swords and Revealing Light. I'm a combat deck.
I'm going to run out my Exile Force, and I'll use any response?
Not to the summon window. Are you using priority?
Yes.
Yep. No. Yeah, he's gone.
Alright. Then I guess I'll pass.
Draw for turn, standby, main. I'm gonna Rhoda. I think this might be the first time you've seen this.
Ooh, so you have a Rhoda. Okay. I mean, I'm not too surprised. I figure after all this time, if you didn't pull one, you must have probably wilded it.
That was one of the only good cards that I pulled out of Legacy of Darkness.
Kind of wish I had one myself.
I'm gonna get Sasuke. Mostly doing this now just to deck thin.
Fair enough.
I guess I'll run this out too.
Ooh, Vilo. Okay. Words have expired.
Yeah, get them out of there. So I can actually start attacking.
I guess I might as well go for it. I'm gonna run out my Dark Blade.
Sure.
Let's go ahead and hit in.
I'm going to compulse your Dark Blade.
Ooh. Okay. So that goes back to my hand. Let's see. I guess I'll end my turn.
Draw for turn, standby, main. I I have a decision to make. I have 2 different lines I'm trying to decide between. I am going to prohibit Sakuretsu armor.
Oh, so you're still on prohibition.
I'm going to
Okay.
flip up my Moth. Target Nuzzler. Run out Mataza.
Okay.
I'm going to Nuzzler Vilo.
Alright.
Battle.
At the start of your battle phase,
T-Roar.
I'm gonna Threatening Roar.
T-Roar, yep. That'll do. Go.
Draw. Standby main. Okay. I'm going to start by activating Call of the Haunted. And I'm gonna target my Exile Force.
Yup. I mean, that'll get him out of there.
And Exile Force, priority. Let's go ahead and... Yeah.
Yeah, get.
You want to use Nuzzler's effect?
No.
Now I'm gonna run out my Dark Blade.
Sure.
And as much as I really want to run in straight into your Moth, your Mataza is a bigger problem.
I will kill the Dark Blade this time.
Okay.
Get it out of there.
2, I will set a card. And I will pass.
Draw for turn, standby main. Run out Ninja Grandmaster Sasuke.
Okay.
I'm gonna Black Pendant my Mataza.
Of course you get another fucking, equip. Okay.
Battle phase. Kill the Clayman. And then...
Alright. So that's gonna be 36,
I think I'm actually
39.
gonna attack with everything, yeah. Even the Moth. Go!
Draw, standby main. Yeah, unfortunately you got it. There's nothing I can do. I could take out... Because I could take out your Sasuke or your Mataza, but then the other one just kills me next turn. I had another DNA surgery set.
I have to admit, DNA surgery versus Lightning Blade was pretty cool, but that can't be the entire reason why you brought that in.
No, it actually wasn't. See, okay, so I sided out of it all, out of the main thing, but funny enough, the main goal of the deck to start with was actually the Moki Moki focus again, but running, basically, I'm running, like, Insect Knight, Sea Serpent Warrior of Darkness, Dark Blades, just big beaters to work with.
What's the payoff, though? Like, that's a lot of normals.
I had 2 hearts, and then I had Heart, and then I also had, the Smoky Moki setup, so I figured I could work that out, especially with Ultimate Offering, but I didn't see any of that shit to start with. But by the time you got Ben K out, and then game 2, I actually sided out of the Moki Moki stuff, and I kept DNA surgery in specifically to deal with Lightning Blade and whatnot, but this is where I put in my Sakus, my Threatening Roars, my Book of Moon, and basically swapped out a lot of my monster, like a lot of my vanillas for random, like other spells and traps to help me to basically figure if I could get rid of Ben K, you're going to clear out your hand, and I could take that time to go ahead and start hitting you myself. Yeah, which
that's the drawback.
I got close, but
that's the drawback.
You ended up with a bunch of cards anyway.
That's the drawback with this deck is if the Ben K kill fails, you really don't have a backup plan. That's why I brought the prohibs in, is to like set 1 to sack, set 1 to Book of Moon. I didn't really care that much about T-Roar. Like T-Roar buys you a turn, but I have a lot of destruction negation. But the prohibs are mostly just to stop things that will actually remove Ben K.
Right. So out of my Dark Beginning stuff from before, I did mention to you that I ended up hitting 3 Imperial Order over the course of the last couple episodes, and out of them, I ended up having to respin them into...
I would love to have that card.
One ended up a United We Stand.
Oh, if you're going to show me a United We Stand, I guess I can show you this.
2 of them ended up nice. And then I also ended up spinning into... 2 of these guys.
Yeah, that's well,
that's actually be useful.
They will be.
Well, it could be, but that was actually a side part too. I figured I could metamorphosis a Moki Moki or a Moth into this. Yeah, but that didn't work out.
That would be really hard for me to deal with because I have I don't really have a lot of hard monster removal in this deck. I basically have to compulse or ring it. But yeah,
And then there was one more thing from Dark Beginning that I actually pulled that I was happy about.
Oh, geez. Yeah, that's a rare, too. That card is nuts.
Yeah, it kind of worked out for that. I mean, granted, I didn't see it, but I was like, well, okay, I guess I got some hand destruction, and I got future ban targets for him to look at now,
yeah,
so...
you do. So the only thing I got out of Lost Millennium, I got a Flame Wingman. That's about it. No Brain Control, no Ancient Gear Golem.
Oof.
I wanted
Yeah,
wanted one Ancient Gear Golem because I've wanted to play Machine for a while, but you can't really play Machine without Ancient Gear Golem.
Yeah. Honestly, I had absolute shit luck when it came to Lost Millennium. Like, I ended up hitting, I want to say it was like 3 or 4 ultimate rares, but they were all of rares, and all of them I already had, I either had playsets of, or like it got me into that playset.
Yep.
And then the 2 hollows I hit that weren't ulti rares were a Hirako Sphinx, which I am never going to use, and goddamn Card of Sanctity. Like...
Well, I got a Master Monk, so that's not that much better.
I mean, at least Master Monk can make some use, but in fact, I was actually curious if you were going to turn around and try to... If you're going to try...
Nah. I do have to say that your bans at the end of DM were definitely effective, because I'm not going to be able to play a deck like that for a while now. So with that,
yeah. I guess it's time to go into prizes. So
with that, I think I am going to open up some Dark Revelation 1 packs and see if I can snipe some of those commons I've been missing. So one thing I want to mention before we move on to the prizing for this duel is Demon, having lost 5 games in a row, is on the catch-up wheel still, and he has gotten the opportunity to ban another card, so I guess I'm not playing Benkai OTK anymore now that Benkai is banned. I'm okay with this, though. This is a really obnoxious OTK, and the equip deck is still playable because we have 6 double attackers. I'll just have to play Hayabusa Knight instead. It just loses a consistency tool. Alright, another win with this Benkai deck. I don't know how much longer I can get away with winning with this deck, especially now that I've played it 2 times in a row. I'm sure there's going to be some kind of side deck hate for it. But we won this duel, so we get 6 packs of Dark Revelation 1. I normally wouldn't take this set and I would try to go for wild cards, but there are a lot of commons in these sets that I need. These reprint cards from Pharaonic Guardian, Magician's Force, and Dark Crisis, and I need a ton of cards from this. Plus, there's some real nice bombs at low rarity, like Tribe Infecting Virus would be fantastic to hit. So, because I am the winner of the duel, I get 6 packs of this. So let's go ahead and see what we wind up with. Looks like all the stuff I already have. Or not. Contract with the Abyss I did not actually have, and I did not have Z Metal Tank either, but I don't think those are going to be particularly relevant. That's our 3rd Archfiend Soldier as well. Amazonas Fighter, that gives us a 3rd of those, but the rest of the stuff I believe we have already. Then moving on to pack number 2. I'd like to hit some of the commons I'm looking for. The Pyramid Turtle is at common, Wave Motion Cannon is at common, Tribe Infecting Virus is the big rare that I'm looking for. Alright, pack number 2 has another Kaiser Glider, a Dark Room of Nightmare, double hollows. We got a Spell Shield type 8, that's pretty good. The Kaiser Glider is okay. We might be able to incorporate that into some kind of dragon strategy in the future. But that's our 2nd Kaiser Glider. We got a Terraforming. I think we had 3 of those before. No, we only had 2, so we got that. We got a Falling Down, so now Archfiend is a little bit more on the table. The Dark Room of Nightmare might actually bring the burn deck back because I can play a lot of just incremental burn along with the stall. So that's not the worst card. Right, and on to pack number 3. Oh my god, we got a Dark Paladin? We can actually make that. We have Dark Magicians and we have Buster Blader. We can actually make Dark Paladin. That's sick. And then Amazonas Archers is nice for the Amazon deck as well. We got our 3rd Falling Down, so Archfiends is definitely on the table now, because Falling Down is their big payoff card. We got another Suki, Tsukiyomi does get limited while it's relevant, but wow, we actually pulled a Dark Paladin. That's nuts. And now moving on to our second set of packs for winning the duel. We got another barrel behind the door. That secret barrel will need to be re-rolled because that card is banned, so we will do that after the opening. We got an X headcanon as well. We got another Amazonas Tiger, so that's our second one of those. That will put Amazons on the table. So barrel behind the door is good. We got Rivalry of Warlords as well. That's another copy of that. So now we have at least one of each of the XYZ pieces, although we will be able to get those cards again later. Gravity Axe Grarl is not a horrible equip either. I might have to consider playing that in the equip deck as well. So 2 packs to go. Let's see if we can get one more nice card out of here. We got another barrel behind the door, and the rest of these are not great. We did get a contract with the Abyss though. That's nice generic ritual support. Death's Rook Archfiend, we already had a play set of. But barrel behind the door is kind of cool. I might actually consider playing these versus the magic cylinders, and they're really good with Ring of Destruction too, which both of us have. So I might actually start playing barrel behind the door. Alright, one more pack to go. Can I get Wave Motion Cannon, Tribe Infecting Virus? Alright, last pack. No, we did not get Wave Motion Cannon. We did get YZ Tank Dragon, which we already had from Fission's Force. We have so many XYZ fusions, it's pretty crazy. We got a Rope of Life, which we already had one of. I would say these packs were worth it. We got some... We didn't get the cards we were looking for, but we got a lot of good cards. Filled out some commons we were looking for. I think I might run these packs back again. We'll need to see what's available on the wheel going forward, because there's going to be a lot of pretty good things being added to the wheel. That fills out our playset of Frontline base, if we do want to play a Union-based deck, and I don't think the rest of this is anything consequential. I believe we already had our playset of Sacks, we did. But I think these packs overall were worth it. And then next time, we have a really big set coming out, which is Cybernetic Revolution. So that's going to be a wrap for today's episode of the Yu-Gi-Oh! Progression Series. Join us next time when we go searching for Cyber Dragon. Until then, see you around.